welfare of the people of this country, and especially to those people who are marginalized, or basically those who belong to the rural areas and have not been able to be the main part of our economy. So first of all, I will just make you people understand about all those government schemes which have been started in the Union Budget of 2019-20, because these are the most recent government schemes and that you must know for your exam perspective. So let's start the today's topic with the very first Yojana, that is the Jal Jeevan Mission. I am discussing about all the welfare schemes which has been started in the Union Budget of 2019-20. So the very first scheme is the Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Jeevan Mission. It had been started in the 2019-20 Union Budget by Nirmala Sitharaman. It has been announced by the Nirmala Sitharaman. You see, in this Union Budget, we have a new ministry that has been formed, that is called as Jal Shakti Mantralaya. Jal Shakti Mantralaya, which we call as ministry. This Jal Shakti Mantralaya has been formed by merging Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. Second is Ministry of Ganga Rejuvenation, and third is Ministry of Water Resources. So you have to simply understand that this Jal Shakti Ministry is the new ministry that has been formed in the Union Budget of 2019-20, and this ministry has been formed by merging three ministries of the Union government, that is Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Ministry of Ganga Rejuvenation, and Ministry of Water Resources. So this is the new ministry, Jal Shakti Mantralaya. Remember one thing, under this ministry, Jal Jeevan Mission has been started so that every household of the country should have access to the piped water supply. The objective of the Jal Jeevan Mission is to make available piped water supply to all rural households, by the end of 2024. This is the objective of the which one? Jal Jeevan Mission, which has been started under the Union Budget of 2019-20 by a new ministry that has been formed by amalgamating three important ministries in the Union. One is the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, second is Ministry of Water Resources, and third is the Ministry of Ganga Rejuvenation. And they have started a scheme that is called Jal Jeevan Mission, whose objective is to make available piped water supply to all the rural households by the end of 2024. This is the basic thing. And remember, by 2024, we have to achieve two other targets as well along with the water supply, that is the 24/7 electricity supply, and also we have to construct rural houses in the rural sector, especially for those people who are marginalized, who are under poverty, that we can say below poverty lines. So try to understand one thing. You have to remember three objectives for your examination, that electricity supply by 2024, piped water supply by 2024, and construction of Pakka houses to all the rural poor by the end of 2024. This is the objective of the government. And in order to complete its objective, the very first mission that has been started, that is toward the safe drinking water, that is called the Jal Jeevan Mission, and this Jal Jeevan Mission will be implemented by the newly formed ministry that is called the Jal Shakti Mantralaya, which has been formed by three ministries: Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Ganga Rejuvenation, and Ministry of Water Resources. Don't forget this. Remember one thing, there is a data available with the World Health Organization WHO, which is the Geneva-based organization, which tells that 90% of the deaths in the world is basically caused due to the contamination of water. So it becomes a basic necessity in this country that the government should make proper arrangement just in order to supply, we can say, adequate, safe drinking as well as potable drinking water. There is a word called potable. Don't forget this particular word. Potable simply means the water which is suitable for the human being in order to consume it, and that is the safest water to drink. It means this is a pollution free, this is not a contaminated water. So every individual must have the access to these drinking water. So don't forget the Jal Jeevan Mission. That is exactly, and the minister for the newly formed Jal Shakti ministry is what? Gajendra Singh. Also remember his name, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. He is from Rajasthan. Gajendra Singh Shekhawat. Don't forget his name. Got it, guys? This is the first important mission that has been started. Now, second important thing is that the second important government scheme that has been started in the Union Budget of 2019-20 is Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana. This is not Mandhan, this is Mandhan. Mandhan Yojana. This particularly Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana is basically a pension scheme. What is it? You will remember it is a pension scheme. So remember one thing, pensions are always given to those people who are either retired or who have attained the age of 60 years and they are above the age of 60. So in that case, if a person is not efficient of working because of his physical conditions, then in that case, in order to make them economically sustainable, in order to make them economically self-dependent, we provide them the pension. Though there is a provision that from 2004 onwards, any individual who joins the government services in the central government, they are not entitled for the pension, because pension is basically a liability on the revenue collections of the government of India. Because you see, we are providing the pensions to the individuals who are not contributing as in the workforce of our country. So if he is not contributing in the production, if he is not contributing in the administration, so why should he be given the pension? That is why those individuals who are joining the government services on and after 1st January 2004, they are not entitled for any sort of pensions. But still, the Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana has been started. This is a pension scheme, and this pension scheme has been meant for which of the following people? You will say this scheme will provide protection to the old age people who are working in the unorganized sector. It is a pension scheme for people. Exactly, 2024 is also a target for electricity and also the target to complete construction of Pakka houses in the rural area. Mr. Mohan Ravi. It is a pension scheme for people who are working in unorganized sector. Can you tell me what is unorganized sector? For people who are working in organized sector. And second is, the pension will be provided after the age of 60 years. Remember one thing, this scheme is basically, this scheme will give benefits exactly where employment is not fixed, that is called the unorganized sector. I am just switching off the camera so that I can write it properly. So remember, this scheme will give benefits to unorganized sector workers whose annual income is less than 15,000 per month. Remember one thing, Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana Mandhan Yojana is a pension scheme for the people who are working in the organized sector, and it will provide pension after the age of 60 years. This scheme will give benefits to unorganized sector workers whose annual income is less than, with an income, not annual income, whose income is less than 15,000 per month. This is the key point. If the question comes who will be the beneficiary under the Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, then you will say under the Pradhan Mantri Shram Mandhan Yojana, the benefits will be provided, the benefits will be given only to those unorganized workers whose monthly income is less than 15,000. And remember one thing, those workers who are working in the unorganized sector with the monthly income less than 50,000 will be guaranteed rupees 3,000 monthly pension after the age of 60 years. And remember, any worker who is working in the unorganized sector, is eligible to join Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana between the age group of 18 to 40 years. So any worker who is aged 18 and his maximum age is 40, they are eligible to join this pension scheme. It means they will contribute into this fund, and accordingly when they attain the age of 60 years, they will be repaid in the form of monthly pension of rupees 3,000 per month. This is very important. This is the key point that you need to understand. So if the question comes who are eligible for the Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, you will say in the Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, only those workers are eligible who are working in the unorganized sector, whose monthly income is less than 15,000 and who is aged between 18 to 40 years. Is it clear to all of you? And remember, this scheme, Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, it was launched on 5th March 2019 from Valsad in Gujarat. Don't forget the name. This has been started on 5th March 2019 from Valsad in Gujarat. And remember one thing, under this scheme, pension protection exactly those people, 18 to 14 years working people do not get benefit from this scheme. This scheme can be joined by those unorganized sector workers whose minimum age is 18 and maximum age is 40. So those people who are working in the unorganized sector and aged above 40, they are not eligible to join this scheme. This is the basic thing. Remember one thing, under this scheme, pension protection will also be provided to retail traders and small shopkeepers whose annual turnover is less than 1.5 crore. This is most important. It means apart from providing pension protection in the old ages to the unorganized sector workers, this Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana will also benefit those small shopkeepers or the retailers who are into the retail business in any of the sector of economy whose annual turnover is less than 1.5 crores. Annual turnover. Don't forget this as well. Whose annual turnover is less than 1.5 crore, they will also be benefited by the pension scheme. And the name of the scheme for the retailer is Pradhan Mantri Karma Yogi Mandhan Yojana. Karma Yogi Mandhan Yojana. So we have two schemes. One is Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan. So when it is Shram, it means for the laborers, and when it is Pradhan Mantri Karma Yogi Mandhan Yojana, it is for the retailers and the shopkeepers. Is it clear? So I have told you two schemes. One is Pradhan Mantri Karma Yogi Mandhan. This is for the small retailers and the shopkeepers whose annual turnover is less than 1.5 crore. And other scheme is the which one? And you will say it's the Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan. This is for the which one? You will say unorganized sector workers. So we have two important things. Exactly, Rahul. The workers who will join this scheme will have to make a contribution. The minimum contribution to this scheme is rupees 1000 and the maximum is rupees 5000. Though that format has not been finalized yet, but it is a vague data that I have given you. But unless until the workers do not make the contribution, the government is not going to pay them the pension from their own end. What happens? Whatever contribution they will make, they will be paid interest on that, but that particular money can only be returned to the workers in the form of pensions. They cannot have the premature, we can say, withdrawal of the money which they have contributed in this pension fund. That is the most important thing. Is it clear, Mr. Rahul? $1000 is per year, not per month. You see that their monthly income is not that much that they can go and make the contribution on that huge platform. They cannot make that much of contribution. So this is basically, we can say, monthly. This is not the monthly contribution. Is it done to everyone? Shall I proceed? Now come to the next one. Next important scheme is Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. This is called digital literacy. We can say under this scheme, $64 BharatNet connectivity. Don't learn about 64 BharatNet connectivity will be provided to every panchayat of the country. Every panchayat of the country. This is the most important thing. And it will be done under Universal Service Obligation Fund. Universal Service Obligation Fund, and it has been, this Universal Service Obligation Fund has been created just to provide, we can say, net connectivity or internet connectivity to all the villages. So we have also a provision under Union Budget of 2019-20 under which Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan will be implemented just in order to provide connectivity to all the panchayats of the country. And for this we have created a fund called Universal Service Obligation Fund. And under this Universal Service Obligation Fund, the government will simply understand one thing. They will contribute the fund into this one, and they will try to provide net connectivity through the BharatNet facility. This BharatNet is basically a government organization through which this particular thing will be provided at all the panchayats. And this is being done just for one purpose. We have to make India a digital country. And just remember one thing, recently Google has also partnered with the government of India just in order to provide, we can say, digital literacy to all the countrymen of our country. You see, I'm just making you clear, the Universal Service Obligation Fund, actually all the telecom companies which are operating in India, they have been given the direction by the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI, that whatever revenue they generate by their operations under various licenses in this country, a part of that revenue must be invested in order to provide connectivity of internet to the rural Indias. That is the call Universal Service Obligation Fund, because you know it, in the urban areas the density of telecom connectivity is very high, and in the rural areas the density of connectivity is very low. So in order to universalize the rural and urban sector with the digital connectivity, in order to, we can say, interlink the connectivity of internet in both the areas, rural and urban, equally, it has been directed to the telecom companies of this country by the TRAI. TRAI is the regulatory of all the telecom authorities, all the telecom companies. What is TRAI? This is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, and this TRAI, which is the apex body of all the telecom companies. So all the licenses that is given in this country to be a telecom company, it is finalized by the TRAI. So this TRAI has given the telecom companies a direction that whatever revenue they earn, whatever profit they earn, a part of it, a certain part of it must be invested in the BharatNet, so that we can build a digital platform in all the panchayats of the country. That is called Universal Service Obligation Fund. It's a direct direction of the TRAI to the telecom companies. Is it clear? What is the confusion this, Pradeep? I have simply told ki all the telecom companies, जैसे Airtel, Vodafone Idea, then we have the Jio, all these telecom companies which are operating on the Indian soil, and whatever revenue they earn, a percentage of it, a part of it, a proportion of it, these telecom companies have to spend in order to build digital platform or internet connectivity in the rural areas of this country. It's as simple as that. Is it clear? Okay, next scheme is PMAY. This is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. They have the two components. One is the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, that is in the rural sector, and other is called as the Shahri, which we call in the urban sector. So we have two important places where the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is being implemented. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for the rural sector and Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for the urban sector. Remember one thing, in the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin or the rural, 1.95 crore houses are proposed to be provided with facilities like toilet and LPG connection. And in the urban areas, simply remember one thing, 80 lakh houses are to be provided facilities like toilet and LPG connections. And remember, this scheme is for those people who are BPL. It means those who are under below poverty line. Don't forget this. Okay, na? It means the government has got the target to construct 1.95 crore houses which will have the facilities like toilet along with the LPG connection in the rural areas and for the rural poor, and also for the urban poor we have the target of constructing 80 lakh houses with the facilities of toilet and LPG connection. And the target is that by 2022, previously this was 2022, it was called housing for all. Housing for all. This is the target by 2022, housing for all. Got it, guys? Any doubt, any confusion, you can just ask me. Or is it clear to all of you? Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for the Shahri and for the Grameen, rural and urban both. The target is to construct 1.95 crore houses in the rural sector and 80 lakh houses in the urban sector. And this scheme is only for those individuals who are below poverty line, who are under BPL. Next one. Next important is PMGSY. That target of 2024 is for the rural, but the previous target was by 2022 we will complete construction of houses in both the sectors. But you see, targets keeps on getting revised. Now we are Pradhan Mantri PMGSY. This is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Gram Sadak Yojana. You see, this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, its objective is to construct all-weather road. Yeah, is to provide all-weather road, not to construct, we can say to provide all-weather road connectivity between rural and urban areas. So here the all-weather road connectivity simply means that the road should be constructed in such a way that every individual from the district shall be easily accessible to their villages in all the weather conditions, whether it is rainy season, whether it is, we can say, summer season, whether it is winter season, when there is a condition of flood. So whatever be the natural condition, the people must be having such connectivity or such availability of roads so that they can easily be able to reach their villages without any difficulty. And remember one thing, in 2019-20 a target had been fixed that under the Pradhan Mantri Grameen Sadak Yojana or the Gram Sadak Yojana, 1.25 lakh kilometer of road to be built. 1.25 lakh kilometer of road to be built in next 5 years. In next 5 years, and for which rupees 80,200 crore, rupees 80,002 crore have been allocated. And remember one thing, we have two types of areas. One is the plain areas in our country and other it is the hilly areas. So remember, all those villages in the plain areas which have the minimum population of 1000, minimum population of how much? 1000, and in the hilly areas minimum population of 250 people. It means those villages which are in the hilly states like Jammu Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Then we have the northeastern states of Arunachal, Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya, Sikkim. So in all those areas, in all those plain areas in which the villages having population is 1000, those villages will be connected with the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So always remember one thing, all the villages of the plain areas having minimum population of 1000 are to be connected to their districts with the help of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, and those villages which falls in the hilly areas should have minimum population of 250, then only that village can be connected to the with the help of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. This is the eligibility for the villages who are to be connected with Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Is it clear to all of you? Or do you have any of the doubt? You can please ask me. Is it clear? Is it done? It's not a weather road. I have made it clear, Mr. Rajesh. Why are you not listening to me? I have made it clear. All weather road means it should be in any season, rainy season, flood one, non-flood. Every time you can go, you be accessible to that. Remove this word if you are getting confused with it. Simply understand to provide road connectivity. I have written this word just in order to make the statement very decorative, in order to make the statement very effective. But if you are not understanding, I have explained it. All weather road, what is the meaning of all weather? What is the meaning of all weather? All weather simply means whatever be the season, whatever be the climatic condition, that climatic condition should not affect the road. That is why you will see in the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, all the roads which are being constructed between district to the villages, they are made up of concretes, that are cemented roads, so that it could not get damaged very quickly. Is it clear, Mr. Rajesh? Next scheme is Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. This is also a new scheme that has been launched in the budget. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Its objective is to build a robust fisheries management framework. Fisheries management framework. Department of Fisheries, which is the part of Agriculture Ministry, Department of Fisheries will provide infrastructure